Hello again, everyone. Good evening and welcome to SaBEEdo Nights. Thank you so much for making SaBEEdo Nights a part of your weekends. And tonight we're going to have a great time learning about the topic. And we have somebody who's very, very gracious enough to have prepared a lot of stuff for us tonight to get to know about instrumental insemination. I haven't met him actually in person, but nakontrata ko na po siya noong pang 2021, but for some reasons hindi natuloy yung aming episode that year. And 2022, I got very busy. I'm thankful that when I reached out to him again this year, he still agreed to be part of SaBEEdo Nights. And by way of introduction, he's a beekeeper who wants to help and be helped. He's an engineer by education, but his full-time work is leading a software development company that makes enterprise solutions with focus on artificial intelligence and data science. So he's into AI for his full-time work, but for his hobby or for business din po, when it comes to beekeeping, he's also into another kind of AI that's artificial insemination, or sometimes we call it instrumental insemination. So again, my fellow beaks, aspiring beekeepers, and those who are on Zoom right now, please help me welcome on screen Jojo de Jesus all the way from Cebu City. Hello po. And
Hi.
kumusta po sa Cebu, sir?
It's getting warmer. Getting
Uh,
warmer right now.
okay. So it's really a pleasure to have you here with us tonight. And nakapagkwentuhan na po kami dalawang beses. So kahapon, kaninang morning, I've learned a lot of things already. And I'm sure all of you will find this episode very, very insightful. And for those who are planning to go in to try II, doing it itself, this is not a training on how to do it, but you'll get to appreciate what it requires to do this. But of course, before we do that, Sir Jojo, konting kwento lang po, how did you get into beekeeping?
Oh, uh,
Ano yan?
no, it's so funny. Actually, I cross paths with bees early, no. When I was young, no, hindi pa ganito buhok ko. Uh, we used to stay a lot in Baguio every summer or whenever there's a break in our house there, and we had a neighbor, an immediate neighbor right beside our house.
Mm,
And he was selling honey. He was taking care of bees already then. It was maybe early, even early 80s or something like that, or even before. It's more than 40 years ago.
opo.
So I was exposed already, and then I was able to see also some when I was after work naman, after study, sorry. I went to work in our farm in Cotabato City, and I again came across a group of beekeepers who were focusing on using pollen naman because they're archers. They're
Oh, for the energy.
yes. He said, "Oh, then that was the first time I ever saw pollen and try it and sarap." I said, "Oh, okay." And then fast forward when I moved to Cebu, and then around 2009, me and my 2000 early 2009, my wife and I, we were on an NGO trip in Bohol, and we were actually exposed to Bohol Bee Farm of Vicky Wallace.
Mm,
She became a really good friend since then, and that's where I got more exposed. But the key there, why I entered beekeeping was coming back to Cebu. A church mate of mine, ours, approached me and said, "Oh, congrats! Why? Oh, you're attending the beekeeping. What?" I said, "Yeah, the beekeeping seminars." I said, What? Who said? Your wife? So my wife actually enrolled me. So it was kind of parang, so I told my wife na, ikaw may gusto mag-beekeeping, ikaw train. So, but then, to keep the peace, so I had to attend. And voila, from then on, I was actually hooked from the first day.
Mm.
I was trained by the group of CHAI, no, the Cebu Honey Beekeepers Association,
Mm.
by Boy Flores, who was then the BNet president, and Yun Pales was there. I think Titing Rosales was there. He just came back from Canada. He's touring Canada as a beekeeper.
Titing Rose. I met him during the BNet in
Yeah,
Bohol last
yeah,
September. Oo.
yeah. So
So may
Titing,
may common denominator pala tayo. You had Bohol Bee Farm. Kasi kami naman, ako naman, yung family ko, for my daughter's first birthday, naghanap yung wife ko ng place na pag photoshoot siya na naka-bee costume. Hindi namin alam na meron na pala dito sa Batangas. So we flew to Bohol Bee Farm. Doon,
oh,
doon, doon ako, kasi meron silang demo tour for 30
yeah.
minutes. Then
Yeah.
ang sabi ko, safe, kasi ang pinaka-finale, you have a photo with the frame. Sabi
Mhm.
ko, safe ba yan sa baby namin? Kasi 7 months pa lang siya. Sabi niya, yes sir, I can guarantee. Yun ang first, yun ang first encounter ko talaga with Apis mellifera. But
Yeah.
sir, meron pala kayong farm sa Cotabato? From Cotabato pala kayo? Or
No, I'm actually from Manila, but we have a
farm?
farm there, a fish pond actually.
Okay. And so, since we're in the topic of instrumental insemination, let's dive to that kasi baka
Sure.
ano tayo sa time. So,
Chika tayo.
how did you get into instrumental insemination naman? Right from the start po ba? Or you had problems securing queens for your own colonies? How was it po, your journey into II?
No, actually, that's a very good question. Ano? During that seminar with these guys, no, Manong Boy and June and Oliver Patlingra was there and Titing, and I asked, okay, as a businessman, my business actually
Mm.
was kind of floundering then, and so I said, okay, as a businessman, I should ask the question, or someone should ask the question, which actually I can't remember, but I think I asked it. Sabi ko na, what's the pinakamahirap na problema dyan sa beekeeping?
Oo.
Sabi nila, ano, queens. Queens? Oh, what are you doing to solve it? Also, they were saying that, there are importations and things like that.
Mm.
Kulang, at saka hindi, parang yung season they were explaining, which was kind of foreign to me pa. So sabi ko, okay, so what do you think can be a good solution? And that's,
Mm.
I think it was June Pales who said na, you know what, maganda sana if we can do instrumental insemination. So I said, why? Because you can make queens without the problems of open mating, things like that. They were brief. I said, so from then on, I already knew that it was a problem, queen source. So I said, okay, if I'm going to get into this, I have to strive for sustainability by
Mm.
partially, or in fact, if I can solve the problem of queens, not only for myself, then I'll do it for sustainability. So
Wow,
that's
so
I
day one pa
decided.
lang pala.
Yeah, day one. I wasn't a B. Wala pa akong B. So nung
Oo.
sinabi nila yun, well, next was of course Mike's, no? And yun
Mm.
parang fun, but
Which we all know talaga. Oo.
yeah. So yun. Then, but it floundered, bali mga 4 years pa, mga 5 years pa before I actually,
Did it.
went into it talaga.
Mm.
So,
So
in
how
fact,
did you get a formal training, or was it through direct mentorship or something po? How did you get started?
yeah. So around 3 years later, after I delved into beekeeping, I actually tried to get. We actually were trying to, can we bring in Susan Kobe from the U.S. to teach us? It was so expensive, things like that. Then, the equipment was so expensive. The internet was not the internet that we know right now. It's not, email is website at saka email lang nun. So
Mm.
research is not that much. So mahirap maghanap, no, ng ibang sources of information. So what happened was, they said, but si Romy Fenol in Manila actually is doing AI. So I actually I call, when I say AI, it's not the artificial intelligence. Kwan lang doon na ako nakahook eh. So I said, they said, see Romy Fenol. So I got in touch with Romy. I tried to look for his number. I was able to contact him. I said, Rom, try to help us naman here in Cebu. Punta ka naman dito, because it was already the time that queens were kind of getting scarce. And then sabi niya, but he was busy, no? Romy, in fairness, he had to solve a lot of queen issues for the entire industry then. And that's where I started. And then eventually I went to him. I went to him and asked him if he can, collaborate with us, because by then we were already able to import legally backpass breeders from backpass. And I told him, can you help us propagate this? So that's where I asked him, hey, can you help me? Can you mentor me? And I'm just thankful that Romy has been so he didn't actually show me how it's done, because every time I'm there, walang drones and things like that. But he mentored me what to do, what to watch out for, and and at the same time research, watching the internet, looking for the right info. And then eventually, I bought an equipment. The equipment, I said, because I think I have to buy and pursue it.
Opo. Yun. So for the benefit of our viewers po, Sir Romy, I met him pala, BNet 2019, but personally, I wasn't introduced to him, but I saw him, he talked about II during the BNet 2019. I wasn't able to approach him yet. But my colonies, I buy the twins from him through his resellers in Caloocan. So maybe I should visit him and invite him also to be part of SaBEEdo next episode. Okay, sir. So for our viewers and for those who are on Zoom right now, are there any misconceptions about instrumental insemination? What if any? Or if you'd like to, I think you prepared your presentation, sir. You can share at this point po. Thank you.
Yeah.
Kasi some might think that it's for everyone. Is it really for everyone, or okay,
nice question.
Let's hear it from Jojo.
So I'm just going to go through this really quickly.
Okay po.
About instrumental, the X and Y's for beginners. No? I call it X and Y's dahil parang I think it's there are reasons why a person would go into instrumental insemination. So our topics would be X and Y's, how to get started, the process of mating, successful mating, brief description, the tools, challenges, and future plans of AI in the Philippines. Tell me if I have to go.
It's okay, sir. Just go. Opo.
Because actually talking about this it will take really a long time. But well, misconception. The first misconception that I want to declare a disclaimer is this: I am not an expert. I am still learning, Alex and the viewers. No, it's just that probably nauna lang ako, but or I'm probably just a bit ahead. But it's to be called an expert in II would not be give justice to that name. So second is artificial insemination, like you said, is not for everyone. It's not for everyone. There are so many things that you have to consider before you actually go and delve into it. And then Eto, another misconception talaga. AI or AI will not totally replace, but will only be complementary to open mating and importation. Yun ang ano parang hindi na tayo mag-import, AI na tayo lahat, hindi pwede 'yon. O hindi na tayo mag-open mating kasi AI naman tayo, hindi rin pwede 'yon. It works hand in hand, and this is actually the the biggest misconception that people have about AI, no? But also, when you get it right, with AI, X marks the spot. Romy has been sustainable for the longest time. Even before I was a beekeeper, I was already doing it. And he's sustainable. There was a time pa nga that I believe, personally, I actually believe that he was actually responsible for how the industry was able to go through that time that there was really no queens. He was the only one who was actually supplying queens then. And without him, I'm sure the industry, especially in the south, in the north, medyo maraming kwan doon
Sa open mating.
Yeah, open mating, so they're quite good. Pero dito sa south, talagang mahirap sa atin. So sustainability, that marks the spot, but at the same time also, you can do AI at any time of the day. Would you believe when in Baguio, we would artificially inseminate even at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
So mating flights are only from
Afternoon, 2
2 to
p.m.
4 or 2 to 5, something like that. But you know, it doesn't really. So you're not also controlled by any weather, no. When we were doing AI there, it was not only cold, it was not only dark, but it was also raining like cats and dogs. So, yung mga things like that ba na hindi mo pwede gawin na open mating, you can do it with AI. Then, eto medyo malalim to, but with quality controlled genetics and drone diversity, that will result in hybrid vigor. If I may describe hybrid vigor is, I always describe it during our seminars na hybrid vigor, parang ganito yung a small Filipina and a medium-sized Caucasian gets married and they produce 7-footers or things like that. Parang the productivity of the F1 or the offspring is actually far greater than the parents. So with drone diversity and controlled genetics, this is actually very, very evident, hybrid vigor. Parang yung sa Dr. I heard this from Dr. Contreras once, that about hypor, yung pig, no? The hypor, when you buy it kasi talagang set yan. Isang boar at saka dalawang female, no? So you have to cross this. Pag na-cross mo to, ang anak niyan sigurado 100 days, in 100 days, it is 100 kilos.
Wow.
Pero the mother and the father will never produce on
that
their
kind
own like that. Yeah, but ganun ba? So with AI and with properly controlled genetics, drone diversity, yun, hybrid vigor is actually expressed. Then also it marks the spot if you have a very good queen, if you have a very good line or a race that you want to perpetuate, no, that you want to keep. Kunyari may maganda kang queen. You can actually do that with AI, no? Like for example, if you want to keep backfast or maybe pure carnicas or pure ligusticas, then that would be one way, no? In fact, that would be something that we are happy, no? Kasi I actually focus, Alex, on breeding, not on selling F1s, but on breeding, so that ever I get to because in breeding, you're actually inbreeding, no? You're trying to breed in the traits that you want, no? By maintaining a line or crossing with lines of the traits that you want. With production, you're actually trying to get hybrid vigor. It's actually trying to get hybrid vigor. So now you ask, maybe
Why?
why will I? It really depends on your purpose. So para sa akin, first thing was really sustainability. Nung panahon na yan, talagang wala, no? To make one's beekeeping venture a viable one. No? Para hindi ka magproblema sa queens, ganyan. You can continue. But again, it's not as easy as it's said. I will let you know later, no? Then, sustainability. Ito ay sinasabi ko sa'yo. Minsan masyado na tayong puro roadmap but we're not doing anything. So I think
Like
we really
roads.
have to, diba? Sounds familiar, but we really have to build the road no matter how dirty it is. In fact, the first the men who went to the moon didn't build the road. There was no road to start with, but they did it and pursued it, and they were able to accomplish it. So we can only do that if you're really driven by sustainability, or even parang kung hindi mo gagawin, talagang mamamatay yung colonies mo eh. So parang
Yes.
of course. Another possible why is actually for queen rearing, for selling, no, for commercial consideration, to produce queens that have a higher potential to lead stronger colonies and to sell, no? Because of a better mating average. Kasi I think this is taught naman sa basic beekeeping that queens are actually polyandrous in mating, no?
Yes.
They mate with not only
Many.
but with many.
Yes.
And the percentage of success during open mating is, I asked this for several times. No one has told me higher than 40%. So, medyo mababa ang mating kasi ang dami pwedeng maligaw, pwedeng nakain ng ibon or so many things, no, that can happen, and success meaning okay, nakabalik nga, but after 1 to 2 months or 3 months or 4 months, in that case, drone layer na,
yes,
because of the but because of the konti ng semen or konti ng drones. But with II, you're able to assure that you're actually putting in as much as possible, what do you call this, semen,
yes.
But actually, in reality, one drone, the semen of one drone is actually around 10 million.
Wow.
Sperm cells. The queen only needs around 5 million. But because of how it transfers from into the spermatica, is a bit of a challenge. Kaya ganun, it has to have a lot. And it's actually also nature's way of assuring diversity para hindi magkakaroon. II, if planned, properly avoids inbreeding. Like if I'm queen rearing and I want to sell queens, I can be assured, because if your records are correct, you grafted from here, don't get drones from related, no? So with II, unlike kung magpalipad ka, kahit si Darna, hindi niya alam kung sino ang di ba?
May kapitbahay din na.
Yeah, may kapitbahay ka pala na. So, and that's where you avoid inbreeding. That's how you avoid inbreeding. So, what we can do next is, in another why would be queen breeding, to produce quality breeders that will be a source of quality F1s.
Which is what you're focusing on now, sir, no?
Yes.
Oo.
Kasi if I think there's someone whose audio is on, no? I was thinking that someone's asking a question or something.
Wala naman po, sir.
Yep. So queen breeding, to produce quality breeders that will be a source of quality F1s. So abroad kasi, they actually, even in Europe, when you talk about II, they mainly focus on on not for production kasi that's where the natural place of mellifera is, no? But when they
Mm.
use their breeders, they do it in very controlled manner. That's why they're assured of the genetics as well as the pedigree of their breeders. So that's where I'm actually focusing right now.
On
Pero
breeding.
yeah, but it's not actually the only thing, no? So if you're trying to preserve a line or through controlled inbreeding, kasi
Opo.
preserving a line or a race or a breed is actually controlled inbreeding or improvement of an overall colony performance, no? You can actually do breeding to improve it, no? Kunyari, for example, we have some breeders that the F1s perform very good in the lowlands. Pero pagdating sa highland, ang sama. No? Medyo
Okay.
tagal. So what we do is, we actually combine it so that whether in highland or
Or
lowland,
lowland.
yeah, they can
Okay pa
actually,
rin siya.
parang ganun. So, and then also with using II in queen breeding, it actually fast tracks breeding, which takes time. Kasi the normal
Mm.
breeding would be one whole season. Pero with II, you actually can speed it up to even, 5 to 7 generations in less than a year.
Mm.
So, magagawa, no? You can fast track breeding. Then you can also do many things that are hard to do, like single drone insemination.
Ah,
Yan. Kunyari, gusto mo lang talagang, etong drone na to, at saka
yan
itong
lang.
queen na to, lahat ng anak niya are super sisters.
Mm.
Super sisters, ibig sabihin talagang parehong-parehong genetic makeup nila. Wala silang parang other related, so, and also, you can have, wala pa tayong narinig na, na queen na na-make ng 100 rows. But,
Naturally. Yes.
naturally, but with
Oh.
AI, you can actually do mixing of semen or sperm, wherein you mix the semen of 100 drones and you'll have actually a patri line of 100 lines.
Mm-hmm.
Selfing, eto, the first one of the first times I heard this was through Romy, because when he maintains his colonies, he actually uses a little bit of selfing, meaning he's back crossing to the mother again.
Ah.
So you'll be able to maintain that line for the future. For the future, you
Yung
see yung pag namatay na yung magandang, you're very beautiful or you're very prolific,
breeder.
very good breeder, wala na. That's the end of
Wala
it.
na.
Suntok sa buwan na naman if
So may
something.
selfie lang alam ko.
No, this is
Selfie.
self-thing. Marami. So it really depends on your purpose, no? Why you want to do AI. But there's really,
It's good that you brought this up, sir, especially on the sustainability. Kasi in the past few weeks, ang dami nang nagtatanong sa akin, Sir, saan ba ako makakuha ng queen? Kailangan ko nang mag-replace. Si Sir, ang ma-refer ko lang sa kanya, Sir Romy, kaya lang until now, wala pa siyang schedule kung kailan ulit. Ang last niya was middle of January pa yata, yung last na
yeah.
batch niya eh.
I think I'll be able to give a little bit light at the end of the tunnel.
Ayun. So, abangan natin yun.
Yeah.
Okay, sir, can we quickly compare naman? Kasi some also are asking me, which one is better? Naturally mated or instrumentally inseminated? I always answer them based on my experience, sabi ko lang lagi. Because ako, talagang binibili ko lang yung mga II from Sir Romy. Although I've tried once naman yung naturally mated, I have no problems with that. Mas preferred ko lang, uh, simple reason ko minsan is nung bago pa lang ako, dahil yung mga II nakadekal. Madali
Para
siya
makita
hanapin.
mo yung nasaan yung queen.
Oh, pero of course, nung baguhan lang ako yun, right now, madali na rin kung hanapin yung naturally mated. Like, kasi yung sa Raffles, ano yun eh, from Baguio lahat yun. So, naturally mated. So, medyo na-train na yung eyes ko to look for the queen. But hearing from you, for those who would like to know, yan, which is better po ba?
Well, I don't like to sound biased, but
Uh,
maybe I may answer it or I may compare it to an answer. Do you think in vitro formed
children.
humans are inferior,
Mm.
naturally formed humans? Do you think, or artificially inseminated goats or pigs are actually inferior to na naturally mated?
I don't think naman. I don't think so.
It actually goes back to a lot of factors. It's not just the act of fertilization, but actually, pati kumusta yung mother, was the fetus or was the egg or was the larva fed properly during its
Mm.
stage, or how fit was the. But let me give you this, no. This is a more well studied on the performance of the comparison study of II queens and naturally mated queens. This was done by Susan Kobe. So
Mhm.
sabihin natin, baka bias to. No. I think this is a very and this is the link, no, if people want to get it, no. Para to stop, parang sabihin, hindi kasi, nagbebenta kasi si Jojo ng AI. Kaya, siyempre sasabihin niya, no.
Uh,
Actually, there were three groups that were performed. One was, it performed the same. Kaya Susan Kobe, her rating was, it performed just the same here. No? In honey production, in brood production, longevity, as well as other things, no? And Laidlaw is one of the best breeders, no? In fact, this is his book, which I encourage other people to try
Twin rearing and breeding.
reading by Laidlaw.
Okay. Okay,
Nakaka,
sir.
nakaka-nose and ear bleed to, pero if you really want to go into you read something like that. So,
Opo.
sabi niya ganun rin. Now, there's a second group that says, I actually performs better. Nandito si Wildy, Rutner. Rutner is one of the top. This is a well-known person, and Woipi also. Ang performance ng II is much better. In fact, Rutner pala, just to mention to you, one of the Apis mellifera races, subspecies, subrace, was named after him, Apis mellifera rutneri. So,
Mm.
ganun katindi itong taong to, but he said, I actually perform better. Like, look, in honey production,
Sa honey production.
54 against 39, no?
Mm.
And then number of cells, 21,000 lang ang naturally mated, ang kwan is 34,000.
34.
Now there's a third group which says naturally mated actually perform higher.
Higher. Mm.
Okay, so yeah, no, makita naman, no?
1984. Oh.
42 and then 75 si Shabo and Harbo. These are also men of distinct and great people respect them in the industry. But the only thing that we will see really here is this: the age at which they were inseminated. They were inseminated quite old, at 2 to 3
2 to
weeks.
3 weeks.
Samantalang remember when is the mating flight? When does the queen start flying?
14.
No. On the 5th day after emergence, they already go and do orientation, as well as some of them already. So, parang kumbaga this is already parang past your primal ready. While these ones, they were So, ang ginamit nila dito na in-inseminate nila is matanda na.
Mm.
Again,
Pero
I think
viable pa yun pala at ganun siya ng ganun katanda.
yeah, actually, I've come across some people who said 25 days and they still produce. Pero
Okay.
again, that's parang storya, no? And this one is
Mm.
laboratory experience. So
Okay, so for our viewers, you just take a screenshot of this right now, and if you want to further study pa. Yeah.
Yeah. Or they can watch it later on and get the link, no?
Yes,
Again.
sir.
So,
Okay,
yeah.
so you've partly this you've thank you for all this information, sir, that you've provided. Now let's move on to what are the requirements naman for those who would like to venture into II?
Okay. Ito, before,
From our audience pala, for those who are on Zoom right now, if you have any questions, just start chatting them and we'll answer as many as we can with the time that we have. And I think meron ng isa dito na gumawa na, si Marvin. So I'd like to hear from you as well later. But yeah, Sir Jojo, go ahead.
I think a couple of people here actually already are successful or have done
Okay,
already.
I don't know
Like,
many of them actually.
I think
Sige po.
Edmond is here, Marvin, of course, then Aaron is here, and
Mm,
I
okay,
I can't see the other names actually.
yes. Sige,
So,
sir.
so what is needed? You're asking, ano? One is very, very big need is, are you really determined and focused? Yeah, you have to be determined.
Hindi ningas ko gun.
No, hindi pwede. Yung, may pera ako, bibili akong instrument, tapos the
Ah,
instrument will just be there and, gaining dust, gathering dust lang. So your personal drive should really be important. Why are you doing it? And do you really want to pursue it? Okay, mamatayan ka, when I was asking, mahirap pa talaga, sabi nung isa. Well, actually, Joe, nag-umpisa ako, nakapatay muna ako ng 200. Sabi ko, ha? 200. Yung isa naman tinanong ko, ikaw, bakit hindi ka nagtuloy? Sabi niya, ako, nakapatay na ako halos 1,000. I already killed 1,000 virgin queens and have not produced anything. My wife also tried and she was not able to produce anything. So,
mhm.
what became of it was parang, are you really ready to hit that brick wall and go on top of it and cross over? So
Mhm.
determination and focus. Next would be, you really have to have a good mentor. And again, I would really always be grateful that with all our talking and even just over the phone or even when I visit him in Cavite, Romy was very open in sharing this. No, also of course you have to do a lot of research. No, you have to do a lot of research in the internet as well as training, kung you can. Right now we're doing some training at the. We've held it thrice already in
SLU or Baguio?
not SLU but
Yeah, in Baguio.
in BSU in
BSU pala, sorry, yeah.
Yeah. So we were able to hold with several partners over there to to expose use and the need of II. No? Then you have to have a lot of bees resources,
Mm.
lots of it. Hindi pwede yung I can start with just a few. No, you really have to start with a lot when you're talking about
Ilang
II.
colonies is good enough to start with, sir, to do this?
Uh, you really have to have a lot. So for me, it was really necessary to collaborate with other people. Why?
Yung drones nila.
The drones, yeah, the strong
Mm.
colonies
Drone
are,
program.
yeah, drones, no? So, but you must have bees, whether it's yours or others, no? So,
Yes.
all of course, you have to have allies, no? You have to have allies, friends, people who are like-minded and wanting to share and kind of work together with you on a national effort. Kasi the particular thing about the Philippines is our honey flow is totally different.
Mhm.
Your honey
Like
flow,
upland, lowland, Luzon, Mindanao.
yes, because everywhere there's parang microclimates. I'll give you a very good example.
Mm.
I'm in Cebu City. I'm in Lahug. It's a barangay inside Cebu City.
Mm.
Right now, my bees don't have honey.
Mm.
Hindi pa kami building up. Pero just a few kilometers away, wala aerial would be probably less than 2 kilometers away. Ang daming honey.
Oh,
Ganon ba? And this has been observed, we have been observing this here already. Also, even in Baguio, in saan ba yun dun sa lugar na yan? In Baguio, wala. Pero dun sa isang lugar, I forgot the name of that place. Meron, dami nilang drones, dami nilang pollen. Pero dun sa iba na, the colonies are dwindling. Something like that ba? And that's inside Baguio City. So parang ganun ba? So you have to have allies that you are willing to share and share from. No? Parang give and take. So yun ang maganda sana. Another thing that's needed is advanced beekeeping skills. No? Hindi pwede sige mag-AI ako, that you don't know how, you don't have capacity to do a drone program in raising drones. You know, I always say even a beginner can make a queen, even without owning queens. It's so easy. You tell the beginner, i-cut mo yung cell, tas i-face mo down, then ilagay mo sa sa queen cup. They'll be able to make a queen, but ask an expert to make a drone. It's a different story. So the people who actually go into it should really be prepared for a feasible drone program. Whether it's yours alone or whether you're collaborating with other people, you have to have a continuous supply of drones. Understanding of bee genetics. Ito, very, very important.
Yan. Medyo technical na to, but siguro you can just brief us on what do we need to know about bee genetics.
Yeah, actually, I can show you a slide later on. No, that
Okay, sige sir.
bee genetics is actually very, very important, because if you don't understand bee genetics, you're going to paint yourself to the corner that you're going to be on the inbreeding side, which will result in sayang yung colony. Well, of course, equipment, mahirap Mahirap kung wala ka equipment. But I will show you some ingenious things that I ask permission to show. The setup, you have to be prepared to buy anywhere from 1,000 pesos all the way to 1 million.
Wow.
It depends on your capacity. Doon tayo sa 1,000, no? But I will share it to you later. Then what you need is a lot of practice. Not only determination, but also practice. Practice ka ng practice. The version alone, to avert a drone, grabe. It takes so much practice. Minsan dyan na lang sumasakit. Ito nakakatuwa. I can say this because we're always laughing about it. Si Arnold,
sa Bukidnon.
Yeah, when I was teaching him, sabi niya, sakit na yung katawan niya kasi kakapigan.
Ganun.
So it's you have to be prepared for hard knocks like that. And the sad thing is the equipment, a lot of equipment in the Philippines are just gathering dust. No? The equipment will not practice on its own. We have to practice with the equipment. So I'm encouraging people lang to go into it and practice talaga. Now you ask about genetics, so let me just briefly tell you what's important. Genetics is all about the cell, the nucleus. Inside the nucleus are the chromosomes, and inside the chromosomes is the strand of DNA. Yan. It's one DNA gene. It's one gene in the DNA of a chromosome inside the nucleus of a single cell. So, what's important to know in breeding is what the role of alleles. No? Alleles are actually just a different version of a gene. I'll give you an example. Like this is an egg and a sperm. This blue one may be a gene for temper. Ito siguro medyo mild. Ito medyo nasty. Hair color. Ito black. Ito brown siguro. The gene is for the hair, but what kind of hair or what kind of eye color, or in other things, sometimes gene for swarming, or resistance. So, laging pair to, di ba? Laging pair, di ba? Laging pair ang from the mother and the father.
Yes.
Okay. So, I'll go to the next. Ito magandang tanong. Sex determination ng honeybees. How does a bee become a queen and a worker? Yan alam natin. When a fertilized egg is laid. How about a drone? What's the common conception about or knowledge about the drone?
Fertilized egg. So,
No,
usually
a
pag
fertilized egg
kulang
is
yung sperm dun sa nakadeposit sa queen, eventually magiging unfertilized. So, magiging drone cells lahat.
Yeah.
Yun, that's what I was taught.
Yeah. So sabi nila unfertilized. Actually, it's partially correct, but that is not the reason why it became a drone.
A drone.
Yeah. It became a drone because of allele, the sex allele. Along that long strand, among one of those chromosomes, there's actually what they call the sex allele in a gene, no? In the no. Ganito how do you call this? When one egg, when an egg meets a sperm, nagjo-join, nagkakaroon ng dalawang sex allele, no? May sex allele kasi, sex allele yung the egg and the sperm have one sex allele each. And when they join, they become two sex alleles. And when those two sex alleles are the same, are different, it automatically becomes
female worker.
But when the sex allele are the same, yon, that's where the problem happens. Kasi ganito, no? On the technical term, sex determination is actually a result of the homozygosity. If you look at this, let me, if you look at this, it's different color. These are different color, no?
Yellow and red.
Yellow and red. Meaning, the sex allele is different. These become females. But when the sex allele is the same, it becomes a drone. Okay, you say, teka, dalawa naman ito, bali fertilize siya. Pero unfertilized naman ito. So, ito, isa lang naman yung sex allele niya. So, bakit siya na magiging drone? It's because this egg, the unfertilized egg, actually goes through mitosis and actually eventually endomitosis. Medyo technical to. It splits, it divides, and then it recombines the chromosomes, and then nagiging dalawa yung chromosome, but the same ang sex allele. Di ba kasi wala siyang ibang pamakunan. Nag-divide, magiging same yung allele nila. Pag nag-combine ulit yun, nagiging viable drone. But in this case naman, in the other side's case,
diploid.
Nagiging diploid drone. Kasi meron siya from the father na siguro kapatid nung queen, nung drone nung queen. Kaya yun ang kailangan i-avoid. That you are actually using drones from the same colonies that you're actually, grafting from or related. No? So, yun ang importante na malaman sa when you're doing artificial insemination. You have to understand where you're getting your drones. Otherwise, wala.
Inbreeding.
I don't know, medyo, I hope I explained it in the most
I get it naman po. So if our viewers have questions, they can
by the way,
chat.
Yung diploid drones na yon, ang mangyayari so nagiging drones rin to. Di ba? Nagiging drones rin. Yes. But in 1 to 2 days that the workers actually smell that it's a diploid drone, there's a smell They will cannibalize it. The result in your frame, is,
But
yes, butas-butas kasi kinakainan. That,
so there's not going to be a chance na may mag-emerge at all na deployed drone.
no, no,
Mm,
no, because they will
okay.
cannibalize it. Though scientists tried to raise deployed drones and they came out weird.
Why do they cannibalize deployed drones but not the haploid?
I that ano I am not I haven't come across that, but that is their nature to actually kill off because genetically they know that it's not viable.
Parang abnoy talaga.
Yeah, parang abnormal talaga.
Ah,
Super abnormal that they scientists like I think I forgot na who no. They actually raised drones. I think sila laid no. They try to raise drones by
deployed.
putting royal jelly and then putting it back into the cells. They actually emerge, no? They actually
Mm,
emerge into drones pero weird looking, small. Ang testes are so small and then the sperm is so little as well as mix, hindi malaman kung saan galing yung yung
mm,
what do you call this, yung allele, no? Parang basta
mm,
magulo. It's not viable.
mm. Okay. Okay, so I think that's a basic appreciation that we can have. Simplified way about
That's why
genetics na.
record keeping is very important.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Okay, so it's time check. It's 8:53. Me, I can stay on and on, but for you, sir,
Ano,
if I beg your indulgence.
I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm actually okay.
Okay
So
po. You
le-
can
let's
go
let,
ahead.
let's go ahead na lang.
Yeah,
So the process of
yan, ito na yung exciting part.
yeah,
Paano ba talaga siya ginagawa?
process of successful mating through II. It
Yan,
starts, of
okay.
course, with drone rearing.
Mhm.
And this, by the way, is not only successful mating through II, but also natural mating. You have to start with a good ethical drone rearing program. No?
Mhm.
Then you also do queen rearing. After drone rearing, you don't raise drones when you have your queens ready because it takes a longer time, almost 2 months before you can actually benefit from your drones, almost
Mhm.
45 days. So after queen rearing, you have to be preparing your nucleus, no? Nucleus preparation. Then either you let them fly or you actually do II. II. Then you observe them. So the total time there actually is around 75 days from the start.
Oh.
So you just don't come home one day and say, okay, I'm gonna do queen rearing. Even in any kind of queen rearing and up to successfully mated queens, it takes around 75 days.
75 days.
Yeah. Kaya you guys will appreciate what Sir Romy is actually doing.
Oo.
Grabe ang planning so far. So, drone rearing. Bakit kailangan drone rearing? Well, to get the semen.
Mm.
So, yan, you have to be able to raise many drones. Hindi yung nagdo-drone rearing ako. Ilan ng drones mo? Mga 4 o kaya 10. No, because one frame like this would be good enough for probably around 30 to 40 queens.
Mm.
So, yan, medyo matindi, di ba? Kasi some drones don't actually have semen, no? So then you have to catch them. After you catch them, after that, that's when you actually evert them and get the semen.
Mm.
After drone reading, queen reading ka naman. Well, actually, queen reading, I think you guys already know about this. You do grafting or do
Yes.
little method or cage method or whatever. Then you can actually raise the queens into full term in a builder or a finisher. And then whether you incubate it or you sell it into your colonies, no? And emerge when it emerges, no? Then after emerge, you have to be prepared with your nucleus, no? Like this is my place. My nucleus are all here.
Sa
Then
Cebu yan, sir?
yes,
Mm.
here. So this is where I put them early on, no? It's just a half frame. micronukes. I brought some to Baguio, and we're actually applying this already in the near future. So you have to be prepared, or maybe you have small boxes which are available on Shopee, no? Or no, this one is in Germany naman, ganito sila. You know, this is iba-ibang kulay, ano? Because Queen's marked by color as well as by parang signs, no? Painting or sign. Then, or pwede sa colony na ganito, malakas. Basta you have to have a place where you're going to put your queens, no? Before and after insemination, unless they're banked, but that's another story. After nucleus preparation, that's when you actually do artificial insemination already. The actual after you got na the semen, then you actually already have your queen. Then now you actually already do the artificial insemination. Yeah. That was my daughter pala. I was teaching her.
Okay. Buti involved na siya. She got interested or compelled?
No, actually interested siya, but right now she's in full-time work, so no, na disinterested for me. But she actually knows how. So
Yun maganda kasi ang pagkakalam ko po kay Sir Romy, parang sa mga kids niya, nobody was interested yata, di ba? So he's the only one who knows it among his family.
I'm not sure, but I think he has some people helping him out.
Yeah.
Yun nga, no, sayang, we're already at this stage in life na, we must be prepared to pass on whatever. So anyway, let's go to the actual process.
Yes, sir.
And most important thing is sanitation and sterilization of all tools and equipment. Kailangan lahat talagang laboratory clean. Then you have to prepare your bees, no? Getting the drones, getting the queens, preparing them. Then drones for eversion, they must be mature. Hindi yung may drones tas pinipiga-piga mo. The drones actually takes around another 15 days after they emerge. So imagine, 24 days as a drone plus another 15 days.
10
plus
days.
Plus another a few more days kung talagang gusto mong talagang macho, no? So, and preferably they have defecated already. Pinag-poop ba sila? Eversion. And from good stock, hindi yung kukuha ka ng drone. Kung kumuha ka ng drone sa isang colony na super tapang, what do you expect your colony, your
Ganun
colony,
din.
diba? So you have to choose it from sino ba yung tatay, sino ba yung nanay, ano ba yung characteristics ng colony na yun. Malakas malakas honey. Pero kung matapang, avoid na. And for the queen, it has to be properly matured, preferably in a nucleus colony, in a nukes or a micronukes or a baby nukes. Or a nanonukes, age is between 5 to 25 days. Pero optimal, ito ang unang nagsabi sa akin, ito si Romy, sabi niya, Jo, huwag mong anahin sa up to more than 10 days. Sabi niya, 10 days. Sabi niya, maganda yan. So your nukes or micronukes, you should have enough bees to take care of the queen and enough room to lay eggs. Kailangan yun. Meron nga akong nucleus na ganito lang kalaki. Siguro mga 3 inches, mga 3 inches by 3 inches lang. Napaitlog namin yung queen. So, experiments. So, the actual one of drone eversion, it starts with the drones. Ganito, parang hinuhold mo, pinipiga mo, lalabas yung parang pinaka, this is a partial eversion, yung horns niya. Matagal i-explain talaga to, pero this part of the drone is a very fascinating part, but we don't have time for that.
Yes po.
Then after that, full eversion. Para the endophallus, baliktad kasi ang penis nila nakabaliktad. Kaya palabas, ganyan. Ito, yan. So semen, nandyan. Ang semen, nandito sa dulo. Nandun lang sa kadulo-duluhan lang. Yun ngayon ang kukunin mo sa dulo ng syringe mo, ng glass syringe.
Mga ilang grams ba or ml Konti lang yun, no?
It's more or
Pero
less
10
around
million.
1 microliter.
Pero 10 million, sabi niyo po kanina?
10
10
million,
million.
10 million sperms inside.
Wow. Oh. Meron
So
na rin bang sperm bank or something na pwedeng so you don't need to
actually, that's one of the things that we're doing right now. I can actually show it to you later, no?
Okay,
But
sir.
let's talk about the queen insemination.
Mm.
Queen, actually, maraming makikita to sa YouTube, but it's just first getting the queen into the tube. Pag nasa tube na, you now can actually already put it into the holder which has a CO2 dito. May CO2 na lumalabas para makatulog ang queen, para hindi siya
Mm.
galaw. Once now it's already sleeping, you can actually already open it by using a ventral hook as well as a sting hook. Parang you're opening up the vagina, the sting chamber to expose the vaginal orifice.
Mm.
And then after that, you're grabbing ang forceps yan na pagkaliit-liit, pino-forceps mo yung sting, hinihila mo dyan. I think yung kay Marvin is yung sting hook na may hole. So parang tinetread mo yung sting tas hinihila.
Mm.
Parang ganun yung sinabi niya sa akin. Pero sa amin, ganito is forceps. So yan, eto ngayon ang pinaka-importante. Kailangan ma-open mo para ma-expose yung V sa ilalim. Ang V sa ilalim, hindi ito hindi yan. It's this. Ito.
Mm-hmm.
Kasi to the right of that V dito, nandyan ang vaginal orifice. So that's where you will poke the needle konti.
Oo.
But when you poke it, hindi mo na ilalabas muna yung kwan because you have to avoid the valve fold. I'll show it to you.
Kailangan yung kamay mo talaga very precise yung
Micro-manipulators talaga ang kailangan dito.
Mm.
Pero I'll show you later on na some people can actually do it. Talagang kamay nila. Here, so this is where you put it in. But
yung V,
yeah, but particular sa bees, sa queen bees is this. This is what they call a valve fold. It's actually parang tinatakpan niya yung kunyari ito yung vagina, nakatakip yan.
Mm-hmm.
Nakatakip yan. So pag pinasok mo dito, kala mo nasa loob ng vagina, the semen will just go out. So kailangan i-move up and then ipasok. This is actually a little animation. If you see, ibababa ito dito. Yan, you see? Pero hindi siya talagang loob na loob, di ba? It's not inside. And then, we will move this going up here. And then, it will go down into this tube. Look, Up. And then down. Once it is down, you can now feel
this.
Yeah, the sperm will go inside the oviduct. Then later on, when you pull this out, the valve fold will actually close it. And this, because of the pressure, this will actually be pushed outside, and some of the sperms will actually migrate into the spermatica.
So some lang, not all.
Not all. Kasi isipin mo, kung 10 drones, so that's 100 million sperms. Kailangan na dito is around 5 million. The rest will actually go out. Kasi the queen will be pressing It's called the sperm pump. Sperm press pala. Ginaganon niya yung kwan. Kaya right after insemination, I don't have the video lang nakakatuwa, the queen will move its butt like that. Right after insemination.
Kasi sobra.
Kasi yung pressure nito, pushing the sperm out, but at the same time pushing some of it inside the spermatica. That's why the spermatica contains sperm. So medyo, I hope this is not boring you.
No, not at all.
So
to our viewers, very yung
after
preparation ni sir.
After insemination, what you do is you clip and mark. Well, yun yung sinasabi mo, ay may marka. So you can clip and mark, and then while they are still sleeping. So madali kasi, pwede mo hawakan, lagyan mo ng
Oo.
glue, lagyan mo ng number, you can cut one wing off. Yan. 4 wing. Then, inspect the queen kung may damage. Kasi baka mamaya, nahila yung paa. Especially, the queens have tarsal pads here. Yung, nakikita lang yun sa ano eh. If your eyes are good, you can see it. But if you can see it very clearly in the in a microscope.
Microscope.
Pag wala yun, hindi tumatagal ang queen. There's something about those white pads that they say it has some. Basta talaga, I've read it so many times na check for the pads. Then cage the queen or introduce them directly. When I was asking Romy, what do you do, Rom, pagka inseminate? Binabagsak ko na sa kanya, sa nucleus niya, galing naman siya doon eh, di ba? So, yan. So, she was taken, if she was taken and not back. Then you have to anesthetize the queen after 24 hours with CO2 for another 5 minutes. Now, there are people who actually do it before. You can do it 1 day before or 1 day after insemination. This is a necessary kuwan kasi so that the queen will actually start laying eggs. There's actually a chemical reaction that CO2 has on the queen. That's why it actually starts to lay eggs. Yun yung parang mga nabasa kong articles. No? Then, check the queen if she was already released 7 days and if she's laying already. And of course, check the brood case another 7 days kung worker na yung kwan. So, then, you actually also have to observe the queens. So, tingnan mo, how are they? This is actually the first queen that I made ever.
Wow.
Ito yung first sealed brood niya. Ito, beside the red dot. And yung first sealed brood niya, kaya tuwan-tuwa ako niyan. Yan, yabang ko. My first insemination, buhay. Yabang ko.
Galing.
Next 200 queens, patay lahat. So parang chamba. So then, these are patterns.
Yung patterns niya.
And this one, ito, si Idol. You'll see. Idol natin, checking
Sir
the
Romy.
of his inseminated queens. So, then equipment and supplies, quickly going through it lang. You definitely need a microscope, instrumental insemination kit, carbon dioxide, cool light, sterilizing autoclave, pressure cooker, centrifuge for drone semen homogenization, and a lot of supplies, sterile swabs, marami. Parang ganito, microscope that you must have is a dissecting microscope, hindi yung compound microscope. Kasi kung compound microscope gamitin mo, makikita mo yung cell, hindi yung queen. You just need this. So, kaya ganito, may digital, o kaya ito. These are the types of microscope that you can use. But I tried the digital, mahirap kasi your hands are down, then your
eyes.
Yeah. And then stereo ang preferable. Actually ngayon, lahat naman stereo kasi may depth perception ka when you're inseminating it. Then, instrumental insemination kit. Ito yung common, this is a Schley equipment. I think similar dito yung kay Marvin and yung sa ibang mga kasama natin, kay Jason, kay Muy. Similar dito pero yung sa kanila mas macho. I got the smaller one, I got the more handy one. So ito yung sa akin. Tapos, so this is yung Schley. The cost of this would be around right now siguro for a complete set. Siguro I think nasa mga 250 siguro. Parang yun ang latest na sinabi sa akin eh. Ito, this is a Swain T naman. Joystick naman siya para sa mga gamers. Yan, okay ito. Joystick ang pa niya. This is the most expensive ata among all insemination equipment. Then, ito, this is one of the cheapest. It's a Lacho. Pero ito yung sinasabi ko sa'yo kanina. Sabi mo, kailangan magaling yung kamay mo. Ito, one of the few people I know, one of the here, si Giancarlo Gonzales, ganito yung sa kanya. Pero ang galing kasi kaya niyang mag-inseminate. Kaya niyang mag-inseminate with this. Ito yung before the war, ito yung mga Ukrainian AI na binibenta nila. Mura lang. Kaya lang wala na ngayon. Di ba? Ito naman yung this is what we're selling right now. It's exactly the same as Schley but fraction of a cost, around 15% lang ang cost nito dito. So, but all the equipment here, like all these parts, are actually usable here.
Mm.
In this one, if you want to start low, ito. But ito it's not the equipment, Alex. It's not the equipment. What I will show you next, humingi akong permission. This next equipment is worth more than ₱1 million already.
Wow. This one?
Yes. Bibili ka niyan, 1 million? This is actually, I asked permission from Romy. I wanted to show how a determined person can actually do artificial insemination.
Sa kanya to.
I was at the dance village.
You know what this is?
No.
Side mirror ng motorsiklo. Ito, alam mo to. Ano to?
Tornilyo ba yun?
Screwdriver.
Oh.
Ay, yung
Screwdriver, yeah. Phillips.
Phillips. Pinutol niya. Yung dulo nito, hindi ginamit niya is what do you call this? Alligator clips. Kaya nung nahirapan ako nung una, ginaya ko siya eh. Alligator clip, kumili ako electrical alligator clip, 10 pesos. Yan yung ginawa ko. Now, so it really proves that it is not the equipment that will make you successful, but your determination, your focus, your drive to really make it. All your queens are made by this.
Until now, he's using this?
Tanong mo sa kanya.
Grabe naman.
But you see how one thing that nakakatuwa si Doktora Cleo eh. Grabe, sabi ko, Doc, si Romy galing mag-AI, You know what she told me? Ay nako, Jo, si Romy is so persistent that even kahit na bulate, kaya niyang ipaitlogin ng worker brood. So that gives that gives so much respect to his ability ba. And so people,
ingenuity talaga.
Yes. Pinoy. Ito, Pinoy henyo. So guys, it's not about the equipment. It's about your determination, how to make your AI succeed. So, revealing, no? Well, carbon dioxide kits, madali lang to. Ganito yung pero pwede rin yung sa ibang bansa, gamit nila yung fire extinguisher. Pwede rin yun. Supplies, equipment, you have to have a good pressure cooker para marami. You have to have a lot of needles, iba-ibang sizes. Saline solution, sterile saline solution, sterile cotton swabs, a lot of alcohol, a lot of paper towels, some equipment like drone cage, and even like this, like if you have to do homogenization of your semen, you should use a centrifuge. So,
challenges.
Yeah. It's not actually a walk in the park, Alex. It may sound easy, but it's not a walk in the park because success and failure goes hand in hand. We just have to, be determined enough to move on. Get proper training, I would say. This is a challenge because before, talaga mahirap. Ngayon, we're actually doing some trainings, introduction, and then we also do actual
workshop.
AI. Yeah, actual training talaga. But for me, you have to go through breeding first before you actually even go to AI. So that you'll understand. You won't make a mistake kasi bakit ganito kapangit ang nangyayari, no? Then, you have to really keep your place clean, no? As in, operating room clean, something like that. Or even just your equipment, no? So, dati nga pinapapaligo pa ako para Ngayon, Parang ganun ba? So, then another challenge is in the Philippines, we have a small genetic pool and the source of breeders is very, very hard. So, but we're solving that little by little. We're able to actually do some things about that. Record keeping, this is another challenge kasi sometimes we're so happy that we were able to inseminate that we don't record. Ngayon, pag nag-drones na yan, hindi mo na, saan ko ba kinuha yung breeder na yan? Saan ba ako kumuha ng drones yan? So we have to actually be good in record keeping to avoid supplies and equipment. The equipment, like I said, costs a lot. But if you're really determined to to even make or source, there are sources that can make it really quite affordable. Then another challenge is also ignorance and misconceptions. Masyado maraming expert I mean, that they actually defy the works of even sila Brother Adam or Susan, kahit na sila Dr. Lilia, this some because some people are so ignorant that they actually are just kind of saying what their experience is, but not what science is actually. Like, I had a visitor before here, sabi niya, hindi maganda yung AI. Sabi ko, bakit? Sabi ko, bakit? What do you know ba? Sabi ko, he said, what do you do? Well, you're just putting too few semen. Why? How much semen do you put? Are we supposed to put? Ma'am, sabi niya, well, you're supposed to put 1 ml. What? 1 ml? Have you done artificial insemination? 1 ml is 1,000 microliters. Malaki pa sa bee. Yung insulin na needle, ganun daw karami dapat. Sabi ko na, misconceptions and, ignorance sometimes. So, you just have to, parang, and also, of course, crab mentality. This is a challenge with AI. And the practice of AI. I'm not bickering, but this actually, I'm sure you already know. In Europe, in the US, in even New Zealand, the breeders actually share breeders. They share breeders, especially in the close group, in the close breeding. Why? Because that's the only way really to avoid inbreeding.
Improve din.
And to
Yung
improve.
line.
Continual pero dito ay pag maganda yung sa akin lang to. Kasi ako makakabenta ng marami, pangit yung kay ganyan. I hope we change our trait would be more open to sharing. So with our current status, let me just as far as I know, there are around 17 individuals and plus several OJTs who are actually capable of doing insemination right now. Then we actually already share breeders right now. We share breeders. We have breeders in Mindanao, breeders we have breeders in Luzon, Visayas, dyan sa Manila meron, sa Pampanga, sa Upland, Northern meron. Because why? It's part of the sustainability thing. Pag may mangyari dito, kunyari, dito lahat ng breeders, and what happens
Typhoon.
Exactly, like what happened last year, Odette. Good enough. We had breeders. Sorry if I say but we, because it's already shared. Now I can already ask help. The mere fact that we're already sharing breeders, we'll be able to test already the breeders, the F1s in those. Drone sharing, ito importante to, Lex. When you guys in Manila have drones, let us know. We'll be more than willing to share with you also the queens that can be produced by your drones. So this is something that we're actually doing in a lot of places here in Cebu, in Mindanao, even in the northern province, even in Pampanga and in Manila and in Baguio. In fact, we have drone sharers as far as Sagada. they actually shared drones to us, and thankful to, it was one of your speakers, Jason. Yeah.
Okay.
Jason actually shared drones with us. See, it's something very, very uh, open sharing. Then also, drone semen life extension. Ito, current status. We're actually able to extend the life of drone semen right now. Our last test with this is done technically. We had it tested with the BSU Department of Veterinary Medicine. 8-month-old semen.
Wow.
The motility is still there.
Wow.
It's not 100%, but still it's there. Then,
Mm.
for us to inseminate through the proper extension of their life, we are actually able to supposedly, technically on the papers, it should be good up to 9 months. But 1 month to 3 months, doable, very doable. I've done it. I've already inseminated, and they're very, very viable.
So you have your own parang sperm bank, sir?
Yeah. Not my sperm bank, but the drone sperm bank. Let's be very specific about that. Drone sperm bank.
Sorry.
So yeah. Then ito malito, semen sharing, drone semen sharing. So actually, I did this already early on, in 2016. Ginagawa na namin to. Ginagawa namin to, sharing, sending, back and forth. But lately, it has been more evident. Lately. So nag-share kami ng semen. Then collaboration with our current status is we're collaborating with established beekeepers. And I want you to check this. This is a person who already, even before beekeepers there was a lot of beekeeping. I think even before NARTD and even before UPLB, this person was already doing and he was our neighbor, Toby Tamayo. I asked him permission. Sabi ko, good morning, Toby. I want to ask permission. If it's okay, I'll be mentioning you, and we are collaborating. Kasi we're collaborating. He's using some of our breeders about, kasi sabi ko, I'm going to speak about AI. Sabi niya, he said that this is one of the oldest and the pioneers. Sorry, Toby. The pioneers and the most respected. He has hundreds of colonies even until now.
Yes.
And not colonies that would look like my colonies, but colonies that are super colonies. I said, please mention that for all these 40 years, we need to solve our dependence on imports, which is too costly. AI helps in providing a tool to minimize inbreeding due to low number of colonies in the Philippines. So even experts like this guy, this is Toby Tamayo.
Okay. Finally see him in his face.
His Christmas greeting to me, actually, he sent this to me. Sabi niya, Merry Christmas.
Sa Baguio po to na site niya?
No, I shouldn't divulge it, but
okay. Yeah. No.
One of his
it's okay.
colonies.
Okay,
so
sir.
I told him then lately he showed me this. Itong just January, he said, I have 60 of these colonies from the breeders from you. This is what they're going to test.
Banig.
For this honey flow. Grabe, no?
Banig talaga. Galing.
So who says that mellifera is the wrong way to go? Diba?
We know.
So Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, we're doing this. We're actually doing this. So I'll show you just briefly, trainings that we've done.
Because somebody asked po in the chat right now, si JC Tan, may workshop po ba available sa atin sa PH? Hardly see one. So this is the answer to your question, JC.
Yeah, we have trainings already, JC, in Baguio. Watch out for maybe I will ask maybe Alex to post kasi mas marami siyang I'm not on social media kasi. So maybe I can ask you to post. But this
yes, sir, I can.
This is actually our training in the Benguet State University, attended by even beekeepers from New Zealand, even as far as Mindanao attends.
Yung kabatch ko si Waki, he was
Yeah,
there.
Waki also wait, the first one ba? Yeah. Waki attended the first one, yeah.
Yeah.
Waki was here, and also then this is the actual demonstration. This is our field training already. These are the guys who actually went to training, the field training, the actual AI. These are set up when we're there. Actually, there are more other devices here. Then each individual actually are able to inseminate the queens and bring it for their own. Sabi nila, nangitlog naman daw. Kasi sila naman ang kumuha, pati drone eh. So, they're able to actually successfully do it. So, yeah, JC, you're more than welcome. I will be announcing naman sometime when, I think we have one in April or May, when the drones in Baguio are already up. No? We'll be doing it. So, ongoing and future plans. No? Our ongoing and future plans are actually, a breeding program. We'd like to continue the breeding program and establish 15 fully equipped functional breeding members capable of AI. Kasi para nakakakuha kami, we have to tune.
Reliable.
Kasi when I bought the breeders from Bucky's, I told them, can you give me the best breed for the tropics? You know what they told me? Sabi niya, Jojo, we cannot because our bees are designed for overwintering. So you have to do it yourself and find out. That's why we need this. We need to establish 15 at least, or even more people who are willing to do experimentation, continuous experimentation. One of them, like for example, Toby is very happy that he can actually validate that we're headed in the right direction. Out of the 4 breeders that we gave you, there was 1 breeder that exceptional daw talaga.
Okay.
But it's not because it's a breeder, it works. There's also it may not work in the highlands, but it may work in the lowlands.
Lowlands.
So another thing also, this is it, in fine-tuning breed to have for a local bee. Importation is not the only answer. We have to import for diversity. But we have to do serious local acclimatization, selection. We have to choose yung mga acclimatized talaga sa Pilipinas. I mean, in the areas that we have in the Philippines. Then determine the combination of breed that will work in the different areas in our country. Kasi para hindi naman yung para sa lowland, binigay nyo sa Baguio. Hindi mag-work doon, di ba? Yes. Yung doon naman, binaba mo dito, hindi rin mag-work. But again, in breeding, we may find a middle ground. Pwede. Then, we're also ongoing distribution of queens to potential partners. Broaden our collaboration, sharing, and mutually beneficial returns. Like we share queens, we share drones later on, or whatever. We're open to that. No? We're very open to that, so that we can grow it faster. Because no beekeeper is an island. Sabi lagi ng mentor ko, si Sir Boy Flores, he always tells me, no beekeeper is an island. If you make yourself an island, you'll be alone. You won't be a beekeeper, you'll be a keeper lang of nothing. So don't drone sperm bank, very specific. Drone sperm bank. Because iba-iba ang season natin. Imagine, what we're doing right now is we have a drone sperm bank that kung ang season sa Manila umuulan, dito hindi, marami kaming drones na nakukuha, pwede kami mag-ship.
Yes.
Ganun rin sa Iloilo, they can ship. Ganun rin sa Davao. Ay, ganun rin sa...
I dream of that day kasi may mga kumukontak sa akin from Mindanao talaga, they're having problems and how I wish I could help, but of course, I'm not into that pa.
I was there last week.
Yes, sir, nabanggit nyo nga po.
We're establishing a partnership with a very big
yes.
And by the way, this is baka sabihin na, drone sperm bank, you're gonna spread disease. matter of fact, the OIE, or the 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 organization that handles animal health in the world, no, you cannot ship anywhere if you don't have if you don't follow the protocols of OIE. OIE has
Mm,
declared that drone semen is not a vector of any disease, so it's
okay.
actually free to roam around.
Mm,
And yun nga, no, motility, I already told this kanina, na motility of sperm is actually 8 months. Then our future would be preservation and cryopreservation. Yun. Medyo advanced na to, pero medyo umatras kami. Dahil when we found out how much the equipment is, it's $500,000 just for the cryopreservation. $500,000 kasi $10,000
wow.
to freeze. And you can now keep the drone semen up to years.
Wow.
So,
Sana may government support.
yeah, pero
Calling on.
yeah, calling on. Let me end with this. Let me end with this. With this slide. I'm sure you guys have heard about this. The farmer who was always the winner farmer who was always giving his corn to his neighbors. He actually has a name. His name is Aaron Abner.
Mm,
He actually was asked, "Why are you always giving your prize corn or your prize winning corn to your neighbors?" Kasi sabi niya na, when the wind picks up, pollen from ripening corn is swirls from field to field. If my neighbor grow inferior corn, cross-pollination will steadily degrade the quality of my corn.
mm,
To grow good corn, if I am to grow good corn, I must help my neighbors to grow good corn. So yun yung driving force namin.
ganda.
That, yeah, in fact, even the Bible, I don't want to get religious about it, but it's so simple. It is possible to give away and become richer. It is also possible to hold on too tightly and lose everything.
Yes.
Liberal man shall be rich by watering others, he waters himself.
Yes.
So I'm not perfect. Ang daming problema, ang daming things like that. We have shortcomings, but in terms of beekeeping or the spread or the sustainability of beekeeping, I hope we can actually go into something like this, share. So with that, I really thank you. Talagang salamat. I don't know if there are people still listening.
Yes, sir. There are a lot of us highest attendance so far on Zoom. We have 7 7 plus the 2 of us. Usually mga 2 or 3 lang, but many are watching naman the replays or even on Facebook Live. So for me personally, sir, I learned a lot and I appreciate you for your generosity and your kindness. I hope there will be more of you in the beekeeping community.
Well, there are a lot of us. You just have to look for them.
Yeah.
Dami yan, ng mga nanonood dyan, mga simple lang yan, but they have a lot to share. Again, I said, I'm not an expert now. I'm just probably trying to learn more also. And with that, I'd like to share it lang. I know if you have any questions, wag lang, there's nothing about love life. I'm more than willing to answer.
Love life of the beast, the queen and the drone. Sir, if you can still have a few minutes, may mga questions pa. Yeah. From Dennis Abelia, ano pong gagawin pag yung AI na nakuha mo, sir, chock broodin? Ano po gagawin pag ganun? Mahina mangitlog, need to replace queen.
Chock brood kasi, again, that's already not AI, but as I understand, chock brood has something to do with humidity. In fact, I was looking at before, to treat chock brood, you have to find a way bakit. Fungus kasi yun eh. And
fungus.
Caused by humidity. So maybe try to heat up or you put it in a drier place, baka damp, no? Normally, kung yung sa labas na bansa, what they do is feed the colony. Talagang todo feeding mo. Parang ganun yung sinabi. Then others naman change the queen. But for me, the first is really to try to probably control the humidity of the place where the hive is. Then if that doesn't work, then you can actually try feeding. Then if that doesn't work, then you probably have to change your queen. So it will be parang magbo-brood stop and mapapalitan rin yung baka hindi siya resistant sa fungal growth.
Yeah. And I missed to read the other parts. Last part is January 23 po siya intro. Red F1 back fast. Yeah. Then from
Red F1.
Red
Back-
F1 back fast.
Yeah, okay. But check your check if your
Humidity.
the humidity.
Si Edmund, thank you very just an appreciation. Thank you very much. A very informative session. Mabuhay and more power to Sir Jojo and Sir Alexis. God bless.
Thank you, sir.
JC Tan, appreciate po. And from from Facebook Live, thank you Edwin Fetalino from Sultan Kudarat and Sir Ferdy Lozada from Negros.
Yeah, Negros.
May questions po si Edwin. How to collect semen, which you've already answered. How to inseminate, you've also answered. How to use semen extender. And ito na po, instrumental insemination applicable to stingless bees and serrana.
Yeah, that was actually asked during the first session that we had in Baguio. I said, I presume that it can, but I don't see the need because serrana so easily propagates, no?
Yes.
There's so many feral colonies that magpapalipad lang, lipad lang yung queen, mamimate halos sigurado. Same as stingless bees. So, but technically, maybe that it can be done. On serrana pala, nakahuli ako ng drone.
Oh.
In-evert ko. Parehong-pareho sila. Nag-evert rin. Ganun rin ang system ng eversion. So, with that, very close naman yung kanila, yung the body parts are very except stingless. I have no idea about stingless.
Okay, and the follow-up question niyo po.
Stingless bees have multiple queens, di ba?
Yeah, may princess po sa princesses in waiting. So, you really don't need to do that.
Okay, sorry.
Ask ko kung need ba nasa standing heat ang queen prior to insemination. Standing heat ang queen prior to insemination.
Standing heat, I don't understand the heat.
Okay.
No,
So,
I don't understand the question. If it relates to the temperature of the queen, well, just the normal temperature of the hive. You don't have to increase or decrease it.
yun. So, those are the questions that we got po. Ryan J. Olivar, humabol po. You must know him kasi sabi niya, kailan ka po babalik sa Davao, sir?
Oh, Ryan, yeah. We were with Ryan. Yeah, don't worry. Maybe April. Maybe I don't know one, but with our boss, but I'll be back for sure to check on your colonies.
Ayun. And nag-comment dito si Chris Mark, sir, siguro pwede muna mag-train sa Epicera na bago sa Mellifera. I don't know if he's meaning to say about instrumental insemination or Chris Mark.
I don't know, but
Yeah.
if you plan to get or try to maybe avert yan, siguro maraming drones lagi ang serrana.
Si Dave General, parang sinagot niya yun. Standing heat is when a pig or cow stands still when receptive for breeding.
Oh, okay. Probably that relates to maturity, no? So maturity of the queens start around the 5th day, no? So from there, that's when you can actually inseminate. They don't, naturally what they do is on the 5th or so days, they start to fly, and probably that's their heat. That's their heat.
Standing, yun yung standing
They start
heat.
to do their nuptial flight, no?
Okay.
Mating flight.
Thank you, Dave, for that input. All right, so that wraps up your night. Thank you so much, Sir Jojo,
Thank you
for
for
your
having me.
precious time, not just during this session, but even prior to this, doing all the preparations. I really hope I can meet you soon, personally.
I'll be there very soon. I'll let you know.
Oh, kita tayo sa Manila, please. Let me know, sir, pag
Yeah.
nandito ka. Kasi I don't, in the next, throughout this year, wala akong nakaplan na going to Cebu eh. Not for business. Yeah, for now,
Magko-collect
wala.
akong drone sa iyo. Don't worry.
Sige, sige po. Okay. Sir, if I can share my screen naman po for a
Sure,
while.
sure,
Thank
sure,
you.
sure.
Yeah, thank you po. And kindly stay for a little bit. And so let me just share my screen. Yan, hindi ko na-share to at the start, but again, we've come to the end of the episode. So World Bee Day Philippines awards this certificate of appreciation to you, Sir Jojo, for sharing valuable information and insights as guest speaker in this eighth episode of SaBEEdo Nights entitled Instrumental Insemination, the X and Ys, held via Facebook Live at SaBEEdo Nights at the page this 25th day of February 2023. Signed by myself as organizer and founder for World Bee Day Philippines. Sir, thank you so much po. Ingat
Thank you
and
also.
God bless you po.
God bless you too. And I hope you guys have, have discovered something new.
We
Every day
did,
is
sir.
there's also
Yes,
discovery.
we did po. Thank you. Thank you again to everyone who
God
joined us
bless everyone.
on Zoom. Chris Mark, Marvin, Dave, Aaron, JC, Dennis, and I don't know si Arnold ba to na ano from Bukidnon?
Yeah, maybe.
Arnold lang kasi si Arnold Del Valle ba yun? Yeah.
Value.
So thank you. And for those who watch on Facebook Live, thank you so much. Yan nga, siya nga, si Sir Arnold. Kumusta mo dyan sa Bukidnon, sir?
Arnold, masakit pa ba yung kwan mo? Braso mo?
Okay.
Okay.
It's been
God
a
bless.
pleasure po. Thank you.
God bless.
And so that wraps up our February. So we started out with Sir Dato Makadingding on February 4, then Sir Marino and Ma'am Gloria, Sir Gary last Saturday, and with you tonight. If you have any questions or suggestions for future episodes, you may email them to sabidonights@gmail.com. And to help us with our efforts, may we invite you to continue to like our pages, yung Hania, Stingawin, then SaBEEdo Nights, where all the episodes are being aired, and World Bee Day Philippines, where we also share and information about bees and honey. All the episodes are also posted in our YouTube channel, Beauty and Beyond. So if you missed any of the previous episodes, you just go there and find those episodes. Again, these are our products. So Stingawin, it's a board game about the fascinating world of bees and honey, good for ages 7 and up, 2 to 5 players. So you can also find our beauty bars in Shopee. Just look at Shal 1206. For those of you from Manila, you can also try our Hania handcrafted ice cream. We have 7 flavors so far. And usually po, it's by Lalamove or Grab. And by batch po yung production. So by order, basically. Again, thank you so much. And next week, and we're going to have another great month, starting off with Isai Rodriguez. She's a beekeeper who's also a fine arts student at UP Diliman. She'll be talking with me about creating bee-inspired artwork. So don't miss that episode. All right, so that ends our night. Thank you so much again, everyone. Enjoy your Sunday. Good night and God bless. Sir, thank you ulit po. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
I'll end na po.